Hey everyone, I'm Dan Saavedra from mergeyourdata.com, and today we're going to be going over how to actually be data driven. Before jumping into the how, we have to know the what. So what does it mean to be data driven? Now, data driven is a big fancy buzz phrase that a lot of organizations throw around. A lot of people know kind of what it means, but very few people know how to actually be data driven. So what is the definition? Being data driven means using data as the main driver behind your company's behavior and decisions. It doesn't mean that you're removing the human aspect of the decision making process entirely, but the majority of the drivers behind your decisions should be the data that your company has and analyzes. So, why should your business want to be data driven? Now, the main reason that you're going to want to take this approach is because you're going to be able to make decisions faster and more accurately. On top of that, you're going to be able to pick specific behaviors that you want to change in order to see the results you're looking for your organization. It will no longer be a guessing game using gut feelings and having no accountability. You'll also be able to create reproducible decision-making processes that you'll be able to use at later points in your business in order to see faster and better results. Now we get into the meat and potatoes of how we're going to become a data-driven organization. And it really can all be wrapped up in one simple concept. And that concept is aim small, miss small. Now, I've made myself smaller just so that you get the point. But the whole concept of this is that you're going to pick a very specific metric and aim to change that metric to influence the overall results that you're looking for. So instead of aiming for something big, like $15 million in revenue per year, you're going to pick a specific metric like outbound calls and try to influence that metric. And the reason for that is if you know all of your other numbers behind getting to a certain number in revenue, you can just dictate the behavior behind a small metric in order to achieve a result that you're looking for. Now, the whole concept of aim small, miss small is that if you achieve that specific metric, you might not hit your result exactly, but you'll only miss it by a little bit because in reality, numbers change when you tweak other numbers, right? So what you can do is you can attack that one metric, and then once you achieve the behavior you're looking to achieve for that metric, you can then start focusing on another metric that may be decreased in that time period. Now, the biggest benefit of this approach is that your team now has marching orders on what exactly they have to do in order to hit the big numbers that you've been asking for. When you throw a number out there like achieving a certain amount of revenue for your team, it's not very tangible for them to work towards. They kind of know what activities that they have to do, but they're unable to have a laser focus on some specific type of behavior in order to achieve that result. So by doing this, we're making the target really, really small, but really, really easy to focus on. So then if someone misses that target, you still might hit the bigger overall picture of what you are looking for. Let's dive deeper into the how so that we know exactly the steps to take in order to become a data-driven organization. That first step is making sure that we pick the right metric. Now, we don't want to pick a metric that's too small because it won't have enough of an impact on the result we're looking to achieve. We don't want to pick a metric that is too big because then it won't be actionable enough for our team to take specific behavioral changes in order to achieve that result. The next step to keep in mind is that we need to know when to change metrics. So sometimes you achieve a behavior change and a metric changes, but you're not seeing the type of results that you need to see from that metric change. So at that point, we need to know, okay, this metric was not the right one to focus on, so let's switch up the metric that we're going to focus on. Now, the other thing might be you picked a metric that was too big or too small. And if you don't have the right size, you're either not going to see the impact on results, like we said, or you're not going to see the change in behavior. So we need to right size our metric and pick another one to focus on. So to break it down even further, we're going to go step by step here. Step one is to know your numbers. You're going to need to have all of your data and analytics in one spot in order to be able to track specific metrics and the results you're looking to achieve. If you don't have those, then you can't be a data-driven organization. After you know your numbers, now you can take step two, which is pick the metric. Step three, after you've picked the metric, is to now modify the behavior that's going to influence that metric. If we picked outbound calls as the metric that we're going to measure and make sure that we influence in order to achieve a result, then we're going to make sure that we modify the behavior behind outbound calls. So we're going to make a certain number of calls per day or a certain number of calls per hour. Now that we've modified the behavior, we'll be able to see a change in the results we're looking for. So after you've modified the behavior behind the first metric you've been measuring, you're then going to take the next step, which is picking the next metric. Now, the reason that this is the next step is because once you change a certain behavior and influence a metric, there's a good chance that some of your other numbers will change. So if your outbound calls increase, your conversion rate stage to stage might have slightly changed. So if that's the case, then you're going to want to go and focus on another metric that will still lead you to the result that you're looking for. You'll most likely still be pretty close, but you'll have to modify some other behaviors in order to really cross that finish line. So that might be maybe a lifetime customer value or an average order value that you're going to have to modify, but that's the next step in the journey. So hopefully this short video helped you understand how you can become a data-driven organization. Remember that you need to aim small to miss small. Pick a specific metric where you can influence and modify the behavior of yourself or your team in order to achieve a specific result that you're looking for. If you follow that guideline, then you'll be able to create a process and iterate until you achieve your results that you want. Now, I'm Dan Saavedra. My business is mergerdata.com. We offer analytics as a service, which is a vetted team of experts to work on the data projects that you're looking for. These are the steps that we take in order to achieve results for our clients, which is why we figured we'd make a video on it. Thanks for watching and enjoy your day.